What up, what up, what up, man? It's your boy King Moses live from the porch, man. And man, I'm telling you, man, I'm on my soapbox today, man. I'm on my soapbox. One of the things that really like irritates me the most is when people try to make it seem like I'm crazy, like I didn't say what I said. But then I have to take a step back and say, like, you know what? Like I said, patience is a virtue. So you gotta just let things happen the way it's gonna happen. Time will eventually come when people start to realize like what's really going on. I would like some type of acknowledgement because again, I don't do this for the show. I do this for the know. But it does feel good to at least get some acknowledgement. Like, man, you was right. I see where you was coming from, and da da da. You know what I mean? But what I really want the most is some type of action to change in the landscape out of this gypsy era because that's the main thing that I care about. You get what I'm saying? And we still stuck in this phase of gypsy era. People doing stuff for attention. People still trying to keep up with the Joneses. People still trying to capture that flame of attention that they had back in the day and stay relevant. They're like crackheads. They're addicted to this gypsy lifestyle. And I see it coming from a mile away with a lot of stuff. And, I get a lot of flack from people like, oh, let people live their life. You the old man, yelling at the sky. Times has changed. You need to adjust. Let people live. All this stuff. And I'm just going to sit back and just keep doing what I'm doing, man. And I'm just smiling inside to an extent that people were starting to see the stuff that's going on as the rest in peace to Malcolm X, which I have up here and I'll play a clip or whatever. But in the words of the great Malcolm X, the roosters are coming home to roost. And slowly and surely you'll see a lot of this stuff going on. So I applaud the gypsy stuff, even though I hate to see it, but I know it's necessary. It's like medicine for y'all to see what's going on and to start to realize and wake up and be like, nah, this ain't right. This is a sickness. And it's going to get worse and worse before we can allow it to get better. So we need examples of gypsy Jezebel bedwench behavior and Negroes acting like gypsies, because it ain't just females, it's males too. We need examples of this to showcase what not to do. We need templates of gypsy behavior to be showcased to show what not to do. And slowly but surely we will see actions of people trying to circumvent this gypsiness, and people are going to get fed up, and you're going to see that a lot of stuff is going to die down because people ain't going to be standing for it no more. And then I'll sit back like a proud father and be like, man, I was telling people a long time ago, and hopefully I could play a part in shifting away from this gypsy Jezebel era. So I'm going to play a little clip just to give y'all some context, because we're going to talk about the Jada Smith and Jada Pinkett Jezebel stuff and the Will Smith stuff. But I just want to reiterate some of the stuff that I've been talking about. Y'all got to stop paying attention to these celebrities, man, and looking at them as leaders or role models or people that you strive to be like or emulate your life like, because it's entertainment. They are entertainers. That stuff is not real. The real life that you live in is not the life that they live in. They do this for a living. They're able to act like other people on a regular basis at the snap of a finger. They change into different people all the time. And people need to stop thinking that that's real. Yes, they do a good job of being actors and entertainers and make it feel real. And a lot of people do act like that are real. But it's not them. They're just highlighting and showcasing examples of other people. But that's not the norm. That's not your life. And you don't need to transform to be a celebrity or be acting like an entertainer. And that's the problem with the world. And there's a hidden agenda. And I can be on my conspiracy theory stuff, but there's a hidden agenda to push a narrative for certain things that's going to make money for those that are in power in Hollywood. So if the thing right now is we want to portray these stereotypes of black ghetto bedwenches, then that's what they're going to put out. They're going to find the people that are willing to play the role. And yeah, the people that are doing it are going to make more money than they ever had in their life. But the people that are behind the scenes are making way more money than you. And it's doing more detrimental health to our community than you increasing yourself financially. They ain't no different than a drug dealer. Yeah, you making a whole bunch of money, but look at the long-term effect that you've done in the community. And then when you go back and realize you regret it. Because you're a fool. But let me play with Brother Malcolm on what he got to say, whatever. And I just want to highlight just about these celebrities, man, and how y'all need to stop putting so much emphasis into like the lifestyle that they're portraying and stop trying to be them. You don't know these people. You don't know these people. And then if you as a grown adult are fanned out and being a groupie and doing all this and emulating your lifestyle towards them, what are your kids looking like? They're looking at you as, oh, well, it's cool if daddy or mommy does it, so I have to be that way too. Let alone you not even doing that or whatever, but you see that your child is being emulated by the stuff and you're not telling them this isn't real. You're not giving them the disclaimer. And we'll get into that later with these videos or whatever that I'm going to react to a little bit later with these Gypsy Jezebel bedwenches doing these TikToks or whatever. Again, I told y'all before, it's entertainment purposes based on a true story, loosely. But that stuff ain't real. That's choreographed TikTok tricks that they're pulling. IG illusions. Brought to you by gypsies. So y'all need to wake up and wisen up. But let's listen to Brother Malcolm.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
And that's a fact. Facts plus tax. Now, this was in 1963. Now, you got more white celebrities that'll speak out on stuff, whatever, but people know, like, some people know, like, especially the white folks, they know not to take what they say so seriously. They don't, even though some of them are fanned out and live their life and all this stuff to try to be like them, but it just, we as black people, we can't afford to do that. We're not in the position to do that. It's more detrimental to us than it is for them. Because they got something to fall back on or whatever if it don't work out for them. If they can't be a celebrity. Okay? They got something to fall back on. We don't. And so if we don't get that the sensation of being a celebrity or, making it big and all this stuff, we're going to feel like our life is over because a lot of us has been down so bad and you want that cry for attention so bad. It's more of us that are in that position than it is them. And that's why you got this explosion and now you see that it opened up the door and all that stuff and just like, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's just like, it reminds me of too, whatever, like, I mean, I'll talk about that in another video, but like, yeah, you had your entertainers there, whatever, but the world has just changed about like how men are viewed. Where before, like, blue collar jobs were like the thing, and just like, that was the thing to strive for. Honestly, like having like an office job or, whatever was kind of frowned upon back in the day in the 60s and 70s or whatever. Now it's the reverse, where you got a blue collar job, you look less of to women because that's the way that the media has portrayed it, and that's just how life has been, and all that or whatever. So it's just like, it just took a drastic shift, and people were not paying attention to the details. They just look at the surface because it's just a lazy, low-hanging fruit, man. So stop paying attention to these celebrities because, like I said, y'all take what they say, whatever, and or face value, and just run with it, and it just ruin people's lives, and people emulate this stuff, and it's not right, man. But I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to highlight about the Malcolm, because I always think about that when I think about these celebrities. But now we're gonna get into Jada Pinkett Smith. So this Gypsy Jezebel Benwich, and I'm going to include the video. I said this twice. First of all, again, I'm going to include a video about these celebrities and how you don't know these people, and stop, feeling like you're a part of their family and just all this stuff, because it's a bunch of nonsense. And I reacted also to the Jada Smith, Will Smith shenanigans that happened at the Oscar, and I knew something was off with it. I had a lot of y'all people saying, oh, y'all was champion for Will and he did the right thing, and he stuck up for his woman and all this stuff. And lo and behold, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that wasn't actually what it actually was presented to be, and I was actually right. So one of the things that I had pointed out was it seemed like they wasn't connected together. Like it just seemed like they wasn't together. And lo and behold, Jada Pinkett Smith reveals that they had been separated for 7 years. So they wasn't even together during that time. So now all of a sudden you got the buck broken Negro cuck Will Smith fighting for his woman that's not even his woman anymore. Technically, he is, but they ain't together. So he did all that for nothing, to defend his wife's honor. Why? She didn't ask him to do that. She didn't expect him to do that. She didn't care that he did that. But he's such a buck-broken Negro cuck that he did that, ruin his career and his image, already worse than what it was. And for what? For her to use that as a chance to promote her book, do other things, and just continue this Gypsy Jezebel talk. You already see that's been her MO. With this red talk stuff or whatever, it didn't work out or whatever, but she was trying to catapult it like she's this super soulful person that knows all, and therapy and all this old nonsense and rigmarole. It's just a bunch of garbage that she was spewing. People were seeing through it, but some people still, the powers that be, are still riding with this stuff or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And she doing all this to sell this book. She's coming up with all this stuff, and I'm glad that she is still talking about this. I ain't tired about it because I already know what to expect. So it's like, I'm not surprised. Now people are starting to say that they're getting tired of hearing this. And I'm glad, because when you see people act like this, you should initially look at them with the side eye and then just be like, man, I've seen this before, man. I don't want to hear this. You're doing this for attention. So I'm glad that this stuff is coming out, because more people need to hear and see this stuff live in the flesh, so less of this stuff gets tolerated. So she already admitted that Will and her wasn't together. So that's already that. I already addressed that in the prior video last year. And talking all this, oh yeah, well she got alopecia and all that. Man, there's a whole bunch of men that got alopecia. So what? That ain't no mental health issue, whatever. Like, nobody care about when the dudes got it. Ain't nobody speaking up for that. Who cares? Because it's a man. Whatever. Oh, but when Jada Pinkett Smith makes it a big deal, it's got to be we got to make a alopecia month, a alopecia week. Get the hell out of here with that, man. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares about that. Stop with your Gypsy Jezebel tricks. We're not falling for that. So she talks about that. Then I got a couple other people hitting me up or whatever, talk about, oh, well, you know, she talking about she used to sell crack or drugs or whatever. She was a big kingpin from Baltimore or whatever. Crazy thing is, I believe it. First of all, nobody cares. And this is what I always have a disdain also too with drug dealers and all this nonsense, because it's like, that doesn't make you tough because you sold drugs. That doesn't make you tough because you robbed people or, you know, shot somebody. Anybody can do that. That doesn't make you tough. That doesn't make you gangster or whatever. Like, whatever the hell that means. It's stupid. And then what it usually happens, because it's like, it's nothing, again, a trap that's set out by the man that everybody falls for. Oh, well, you know, we had to do what we had to do, whatever. They've been singing that song for 20, 30, 40 years. And every time people know or act like they don't know that they're going to make some money, whatever, eventually get caught or get killed or do some dumb stuff, whatever, and just keeps on keeping on. But they keep on promoting it and all that stuff or whatever, and just like, but then they get sad when their daughters or oh, well, they got caught up with this drug dealer dude or whatever, or they got shot by somebody because they was dealing with they was in the streets, da. Or when they son or their nephew get caught up or whatever in the streets, because y'all keep promoting it. Y'all keep thinking it's cool. But low key, when they get out of jail after doing 20, 30, 40 years, oh, well, you know, stay in school and don't live the life that I did. Well, it's already too late, because you already promoted and making it look cool, making it look like it's a badge of honor. And it ain't just you, it's a whole bunch of other people that's promoted. So now you get on here and want to be promoting that, oh, I was a kingpin and big boss or whatever. And the main thing that I hate is a lot of people that do it didn't really have to do it. I can even give some wiggle room to people that felt that they had no choice but to do it. And, you know, if you're going to do it, at least, I don't know, get away with it or have an out. Don't just do it just to do it. But clearly in this clip, she didn't have to do it, but she just felt like she wanted to do it because some people do it because they think it's cool. They come from nice neighborhoods. I'm not saying her or whatever, but people do that. They don't have to do it. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? You don't even have to do that. You just want to do it just to look cool? You're an idiot. But again, that's the parents' fault for not checking that and allowing this stuff. But let's go ahead and listen to what this Gypsy Jezebel Bedwench has got to say about her and her drug dealing ways.
Even though I always had a regular job, I just wanted more financial freedom. I decided to sell drugs. Sell crack cocaine. And, you know, just along the way, just kind of leveled up.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. Shout out to DC, Dirty City News for that, for finding that clip, because I couldn't find the original interview with her, but it was just nonsense, man. But this ain't her first time saying this. And a lot of people, because see, that's the thing, is one of those things is like, oh, well, she had to repeat it again or whatever to make waves or whatever, because that's like the thing. Like, she just looks like this nice lady, whatever. So it's just shocking. They look for the shock value. That's what the gypsies do. They want to hit those points. They got a gypsy playbook, man. So this is not her first time saying this. When I did my research, she said this 6 years ago, and this is when she was in preparation of writing the book that nobody was even really worried about or whatever. And this is before all this, I believe, before this entanglement nonsense and all this foolishness. And like, she was putting quotes and hints out or whatever about her and Will and all this stuff or whatever. But like I said, this has been a planned attack from her a long time ago, and because of all the stuff that was going on, and just because it's her, and she feels that she's living in Will Smith's shadow and she's not getting all the attention that she really, wants. She wants to be the lead dog. And because it's her, people hear like, okay, here and there, whatever, but it doesn't like resonate with the masses like that. So, like I said, when people don't get the attention they want, they do more and more and regurgitate the same stuff, and it's nasty work. But let's hear her talk about this drug dealing nonsense 6 years ago.
Haven't really told the whole story. You know, the one of the things that's very interesting that I've never really said before is that when I first met Pac, when we first met, I was a drug dealer, and yes, and that was, and so to just give you, I won't get into the details of it because I'm gonna write a book about it, but just to give you like, that's how we started. Then as I was coming out, something very bad happened to me. As I was coming out of the life, he was going more into the life. Mm-hmm. And so, and I've been having kind of an existential crisis.
All right, enough with your Gypsy Jezebel bedwench babble and them big words or whatever. So yeah, she was talking about that. So it's like this is the stuff that I'm talking about. And this was what, 6 years ago, something like that. And this was before or around the time or whatever when technically they were separated, but she didn't say that in during this or whatever. So this was a planned attack, and this is around the time when she was getting Bowflexed by August Alsina or whatever. And again, I'm going to reiterate a lot of this stuff, that everything that she's been doing, Will Smith would not have been allowed to do any of it. If Will Smith was the one Bowflexing his daughter's homegirl, they would look at him like he was a pedophile. He was grooming her, all this stuff. He's a horny, corny pervert, all this stuff. How dare he cheat on his wife? Whoop-de-whoop. Let him announce that him and his wife are separated, and then sit them at the table like, yeah, I had an entanglement with our daughter's best friend, and she needed healing and all this stuff, and we were in a bad place, and blah, blah, blah. And if he was the one that was doing all this, Jada had heard a joke about Will from Regina Hall, and she would have went up there and slapped her upside the face or whatever, and Will Smith wouldn't have done nothing. What do you think would have happened? And he ain't squat. How dare he put his wife out there like that, and he's acting like a female. He don't even it would have been a whole different type of mess. Let Will, because he did write a book, mind you, but I didn't read it and I ain't getting into it or whatever, but I don't think it was him putting out details about his wife and his relationship and how he was doing her wrong and all this stuff or whatever. Like, the way that he rolled it out or whatever, like it went under the rug, or just like, whatever. But she's going on an all-out media tour to promote this, to diminish that man's manhood. So if he were the one that was putting her down and controlling her and doing all this, and she was just sitting back still supporting him, they would look at him like he's the modern day Ike Turner. But when a woman does it, it's cool. It's just like, all right, women empowerment, all this nonsense. And he sitting back there looking like a buck-broken Negro cuck. That's what women want. They want that control and that power, and they'll look at him as less of a man. They want to demasculate them or whatever. And that's why I say it's up to men to realize what's going on and know to play and circumvent that. And speaking of that, let's go to old boy. Look at him in the background being a buck-broken Negro cuck, celebrating his lovely wife's celebration of opening her first copies of her memoir. Look at this.
All right, you guys. This is the first time I'm going to see the book. We're all together. I have not seen the book yet. We just got the first time.
This is nasty work. One thing I'll also mention too, fellas, do not love your woman more than she loves you. And that's clear as day with Will. And to quote Martin Lawrence in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, it's all about balance. If you give them too little, they on your ass or whatever and complaining or whatever, and they want to leave. But if you give them too much, they get attached and want to stay and leech to you, whatever, or vice versa. But you got to give them just enough balance, so you're at a happy medium. So you have to find what that is. So clearly he's giving her too much, and she's turned off by it because she is more of a dominant female, and she wants a more passive male. So now he's just like, well, no, she wants more of an aggressive male to fight with her or whatever, and all this stuff or whatever. So that's why she's so enamored with Pac, because he could transform from one to the other very easily, whatever. And I don't know, man. It's just a weird sickness. But again, if you love your woman more than she loves you, it's going to show, and you look weak. And it's just like a crackhead, man, that's addicted to crack. You see him, you feel a little sorry for him, like, damn, that's messed up, man. You know what I mean? I wish they can get their life together and get off that stuff. But then when you see them, knee deep in their addiction, and they just won't let it go, and they try to drag you down with them or get over on you, then you start to lose sympathy. This is exactly what's going on with Will Smith. I have no sympathy for Jada Pinkett Smith because she's a Gypsy Jezebel bed wench, and I despise them at all costs. But Will Smith is a buck-broken Negro cuck, a simp, and now a loafing-ass Negro. And he's sticking by his woman or whatever, and that's his choice. So I cannot feel sorry for him. He is not a victim, nor is Jada Pinkett Smith, and they are complicit into being Gypsy Jezebel bed wenches and buck-broken Negro cucks. So again, I say, men and young men, you need to look at this as a template of what not to be. And if you experience a woman that is like this is what the type of women you need to avoid. And that's all I got to say. So that's my perspective of it. Y'all can agree, disagree. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Again, this is for the know, not the show. And I'm just providing my perspective, man. So I hope more of this stuff comes along. I'm going to attach the link of the video of my reaction from the Oscars last year, and my video about the celebrities, my thoughts on that. So y'all just live your life, man. If you see women that's all into the social media stuff, wanting to be gypsies, wanting to be getting attention, and so in love and enamored with celebrities and their life and all that stuff, like, we can be fans. But if they're groupies and they're going above and beyond and overboard, that should be a red flag for you. And females, well, I can't talk to y'all because y'all don't listen to it, but the same way. If you see a dude that's just so enamored with being, like, it is what it is, man. And hopefully y'all dudes, like, attention ain't everything. Attention ain't everything. So it's your boy King Moses, live from the porch, man. That's all I got to say. I'm out.